Remember a couple days ago where Biden said there should be no pause in the war. Israel needs to destroy Hamas. That was so days ago. Now he wants a ceasefire. Why is it that the president of the United States this morning read a speech written by God knows who, calling for a pause in the war to provide humanitarian aid to Gazans? He said it last night and he said it this morning because some idiot rabbi screamed at him that there ought to be a ceasefire. I swear some of these rabbis are Jews' worst enemies.
Dude. I was watching a clip on one of the government state media, and it's supposed to be a conservative media outlet, and they had a rabbi on there, and the rabbi was on there saying that we need to push for a ceasefire, and I'm like, what's going on here? What am I seeing here? What is wrong with this picture here? There's no negotiating with people whose sole purpose that they believe is to kill you. You can't negotiate with them. Okay, we're gonna stop. And you know what, Barry? I keep forgetting the word what you call it. But all this is going to do is do exactly what you said. If they do a ceasefire, Hamas, Hezbollah, etc., all they're going to do is replenish their rockets, replenish the resources so they can be more aggressive when they attack again. They need the supplies of rockets and more bombs and bullets coming in. That's what they're looking for. That's what they want. They want to be able to take out every single Jewish person in the country, in the world. They don't care about the humanitarian reasons. They keep saying, and look, it's all a trick. They're trying to convince everybody that the humanitarian, we need to get money there and supplies in there for the people, humanitarian reasons. That's not the reason why they're wanting to do this. They're wanting to do a ceasefire so they can bring in more means to kill Israelis. It's like a no-brainer. Do they think we're stupid? Yeah, I think they do. They think we're truly that stupid, Barry, for they think we're going to fall for it, and we're not going to.
Well, the Israelis have said no. Netanyahu came out and responded to Biden's humanitarian pause and said no.
Good for
him.
We're
going to take them all out.
Good for him.
And we're not going to stop until we take them all out. And Netanyahu is right. They have a unity government now in Israel, and both sides are saying the same thing. You know what's really interesting? Egypt has millions of acres of desert that nobody lives in. So does Jordan. So is Saudi Arabia. So is Syria. So is Iraq. So is Iran. So is Lebanon. Do you know how many Palestinian refugees those countries want to take?
Zero.
Egypt says they will go to war to protect the desert of the Sinai from even one Palestinian coming into the country.
So who are they going to go to war with?
I'm not exactly sure. That's what El-Sisi said.
And why don't they want to take them in? Don't they have the same mentality? Don't they have the same? I mean, look, not to be like, profiling here, but don't they have the same ideology? Don't they eat the same food? Don't they have the same culture, the same mindset? Why would they want to take them in?
They know what they're dealing with, and it's the same reason when Jordan took them in and then kicked them out in the 70s. Lebanon didn't want them. Syria didn't want them. Jordan didn't want them. Egypt didn't want them. And it's become Israel's problem because they keep launching missiles at Israel. When Israel controlled Gaza up till 2005, you know how many missiles came from Gaza to Israel every year? Instead of 5 or 10,000, not a single one.
Really?
Which is why there is so much pressure internally in Israel to destroy Hamas and then not leave, to have some sort of relationship with the territory in regards to security. Because
they shouldn't leave.
What's that?
Me personally, Barry, I said, you know what? Welcome to Israel.
In the Bible, this was part of Israel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Welcome to Israel. Welcome back to Israel. So that's my whole stance on it. It shouldn't even be another territory. It should be Israel. Be through with it. Stop the killing. If you're not going to come here and be peaceful, they gave them the opportunity, Barry. They gave them the opportunity. And let me say this too. You know, Mike Johnson, our new Speaker of the House, he made a really good point. He said that the ceasefire that the Democrats are calling for, the ceasefire was on before October 7th. Hamas violated the ceasefire. So guess what? There's no ceasefire. You already violated it.
Well, the truth is, if Israel goes back to the old plan, which is go in, kill a bunch of Hamas leadership, buckle under the pressure from the President of the United States and the United Nations to leave those same maniacs in power, in a year, you're going to get bombed again, maybe sooner.
Yeah. I'm not a violent person, but I just say you got to get rid of all of them. Welcome back to Israel. And while you're at it, let's go ahead and, lock down the West Bank. Be done with it. Be done with it. If they don't do it now, Barry, then they're never going to be able to have anything. If they do a ceasefire, they're going to send a signal to the rest of the world and to the rest of these terrorists that they are weak, that they can kill Israelis as much as they want, and there's going to be no repercussion. That's the signal that's going to go out.
That's what's been happening, Will.
Yeah.
And anything less than the total destruction of Hamas and a change in the government there is going to just repeat itself again.
Exactly.
Einstein talked about stupidity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
If definition of insanity.
If Israel expects a different result, they're insane. I totally agree.
But Barry, like I mentioned, they need to go ahead and welcome Gaza Strip back to Israel, make it Israel all again, right? Be done with it. And the same thing with the West Bank. Because they're actually having Israelis move out of the West Bank. They're evacuating them out of their homes. The government, state media, the world community, they're not talking about that. They're not talking about how they're making Israelis get out. They're not even saying
a million people have been evacuated if you figure the front lines of the north and the south and in certain parts of the West Bank.
Yeah.
They're all being evacuated.
Yeah, they're not even talking about that. I'd say Israel needs to go ahead and take back the Gaza Strip and go ahead and lock down the West Bank. Be done with it.